in some ways, it's a similar system to Pichingle, and also there's some significant differences as well. Again, so the goal is to build up a kind of network of patronage that is supporting free media, free journalism, and so on and so forth. And in a sense, this is a little bit counterintuitive, but another way to look at it is counterintuitive because everyone's able to access something for free. Some people are paying for it. The way to look at it is one model that we understand pretty well that works something like this is the freemium model, right, where everyone is accessing the same thing. But if you want enhanced services, you want to do more with the actual information or with the service, then you pay a little bit of money. And that's the kind of thing that we're looking at doing. Specifically, the interaction that we have in Pay Attention is a little bit different than Pichingle. It's much more, we're much more interested in actually capturing the reactions that people have to individual articles and to be able to weave what they're doing into the kinds of, or weave the action of patronage into the kinds of activities that they're already doing. We're interested in the most active users. We're interested in the users that are most involved, that are doing things like sharing, contributing to sites like Dig, Reddit, Twitter, and so on and so forth. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to weave patronage into some of those interactions. So let me show you a little bit about what that looks like with Pay Attention. And so here is a simple example. I'm looking at a blog, and I want to make, I get to the bottom, and now I'm actually asked to judge this particular blog. There's a suggested price that the author has provided, and I am logged in. This is a secure iframe that's logged in over at Pay Attention, and I can do a single click like that, and I'm done. I've just made a contribution to this particular blog. And in a sense, that's all that I need to understand as a particular user, is that I've made that contribution. Now, it's also possible to be that quick and that simple because we allow you to also cancel the transaction for up to a minute afterwards. So we don't need to have a confirmation dialogue or anything like that. So very, very optimized interaction. Now, the other thing that, since we're capturing these individual interactions that are happening when people are looking at individual articles, is that we can put together an aggregator view. And this is a little bit like something like Dig, but we actually have two dimensions that we're taking into account. So one of them is the popularity, how many people have actually supported something, and that's the width or the breadth of support that it's gotten. And then the other is the value that's behind it. So you can make different size contributions. If there's more money coming into it, that makes it actually taller. So this is an aggregator that's reflecting these two different dimensions. Now, so what this means is that when someone makes a contribution to something, they're making a contribution to the article, but they're also promoting it socially on this aggregator. Now, there's more that you can do with this idea. So the other way that people are sharing things that they're interested in is using short links and systems like Twitter to actually kind of broadcast to their friends. This is something I found. This is something that's interesting, and now this is something that I'm a patron of. This is something I'm patronizing. So we have a short link service, pay to URLs like this, and of course you can do a single click here, and it takes you over to Twitter, and you can go ahead and update your status that says that I paid for this particular object. And so what do you want to do now? So now the short link acts as a kind of receipt. It represents a payment that a particular person made to a particular article, or for a particular article to a particular author. And so it's a trackable kind of receipt object. And so, for example, I can go in and I can see how many people followed this particular short link, but more importantly, I can see how much revenue my spreading of this link generated for the article as a whole. Okay, so now the other kind of interaction that we want to support is people getting closer or building up a relationship with the author himself. And so if I look over at this view, the badge here that's appearing is blank. But when he makes a payment, it turns, we get a blue bar on the side that says that he is now a patron of this particular author. Of course, that goes away if I go ahead and cancel it. So what the author can do now, so now I'm logged in over here as Henry, who is the author of that other blog I was looking at, is he can now see who are his patrons, or first of all, how many patrons he has at each level. So the first level is any amount of money a month. Second level is $1 or more a month, or $10 or more a month. and he can provide rewards to people for having reached that particular level. And so for the first reward we have is ad-free, and that means that when this guy goes ahead and pays for it, the ads go away, and they continue to go away as long as he's a level 1 patron, because the author is providing that service. Now, the other thing that we can do is we have all the pieces together here to provide a paid access service, and I'll explain to you why that's important in a minute, or why we want to do that in a second, in less than a minute, apparently. So what that looks like is this. It's essentially the same thing, but now when I pay for something, the content actually appears. I can still cancel it like before. But now the short link also does something new now. It actually provides a kind of guest pass. So when someone else comes along and follows the short link, they are actually able to get access to the content as a guest of the first person. So you pay for access to something, you share it over Twitter or something, and everyone else that follows you gets to access it as a guest of you. And one last point. So the business model idea behind this, of providing both a patronage kind of model and a paid access kind of model, is that the patronage model needs to have, to work, I don't think we can take really any cut at all, because if someone's paying money or something, as Cynthia was pointing out, they want the money, all of the money to be going to the person that they're giving the money to. So what we're doing is we are taking a cut for the paid access model, and we're using that then to subsidize the patronage model, which is the one that we're most interested in fostering.
Thank you.